What if the most dangerous man you'll ever meet wasn't some stranger in a dark alley, but the guy sitting right across from you at dinner every night? That was Richard Kuklinski. To his neighbors, he looked like a normal suburban dad from New Jersey. Friendly, quiet, always there for his kids. The perfect family man. But once that front door closed, he became someone else entirely. A cold-blooded killer. They called him the Iceman. Let's look at his story. The man behind the mask. Born in 1935 in Jersey City, New Jersey, Richard grew up in a home where violence was just part of the routine. His father was an alcoholic who beat his kids like it was a sport. One of those beatings killed Richard's older brother. The family said he fell down the stairs, but Richard knew better. He watched it happen. That moment carved something dark into him. His mother didn't make it easier. Strict, cold, religious. She handed out guilt instead of love. So, Richard grew up learning that fear was normal and pain was survival. At 14, he snapped. That same year, he beat a town bully to death. Nobody proved it, but Richard knew. That rush of power, of control, stuck with him. Soon, he was taking it out on animals, cats, dogs, anything that reminded him of weakness. By the time he dropped out of school, he'd already decided he'd never be a victim again. As he grew, his body became just as intimidating as his anger. 6'5", nearly 300 pounds, with eyes that could freeze a room. People said he didn't just walk in. He took over the space. And in the criminal world, that kind of presence was currency. Before we tell you how he got his name as Iceman, make sure you hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. How the Iceman became famous. The 1950s and 60s, New York's mob world was booming. That's when Richard met Roy DeMeo of the Gambino crime family. DeMeo ran one of the most ruthless operations out there, and he wanted to test Richard. He ordered him to kill a random man walking his dog. No reason. Just do it. Richard didn't hesitate. He pulled the trigger and walked away. That was the moment the Iceman was born. From then on, Kuklinski became DeMeo's favorite hitman. He didn't kill for revenge or hate. He killed because it was his job. Efficient, quiet, no emotions. He used guns, rope, poison, whatever worked. His go-to weapon was cyanide. He even carried it in a spray bottle. But what really made him infamous was how he handled the bodies. In 1981, he killed a man named Louis Masquet and froze his corpse for over a year before dumping it. When police found it, there were still ice crystals inside. That's when they started calling him the Iceman, cold name for a colder man. Officially, cops tied him to 5 murders, but Kuklinski claimed he'd killed up to 200. He said he helped kill Teamsters boss Jimmy Hoffa, too. The thing is, none of that was ever proven. Dominic Polifrone, the undercover ATF agent who caught him, said the real number was probably around 15. Still, 15 murders are more than enough to become a legend in the underworld. How he got caught. For years, Kuklinski slipped through every investigation. He was careful, smart, and terrifyingly calm. But things changed when 5 men linked to him disappeared. Slowly, bodies started showing up, and each one led back to him. That's when law enforcement launched Operation Iceman, a task force to bring him down. Enter Dominic Polifrone, the undercover agent who'd risk everything to stop him. In 1985, Polifrone started showing up at a place called The Store, where Kuklinski often met people. For 18 months, he built trust, pretending to be part of the mob world. Slowly, he got close. Then came the break. Kuklinski wanted cyanide to kill people he thought were snitches. So Polifrone posed as the guy who could get it for him. For months, the two met, talked, planned murders, and every word was recorded. Here's the twisted part. Kuklinski was actually planning to use that same cyanide to kill Polyphrone. Yeah, the hunter was hunting a cop who was hunting him. But in December 1986, before he could act, police moved in. They arrested him in a sting that ended one of the most dangerous runs in American crime history. The evidence was stacked: recorded tapes, witness statements, and physical proof. In 1988, Kuklinski was convicted of 4 murders and sentenced to 2 life terms. Later, he confessed to killing a New York cop and got 30 more years. He died in prison on March 5, 2006, but even after death, his story refused to fade. The movie connection. In 2012, director Ariel Vroman turned his story into the film The Iceman, starring Michael Shannon as Richard and Winona Ryder as his wife, Deborah. It also featured Ray Liotta, Chris Evans, and James Franco. Michael Shannon nailed it. He captured the calm, almost normal family man who could switch into a killer in seconds. One moment, he's tucking his daughters into bed. Next, he's ending someone's life without blinking. The movie premiered at the Venice Film Festival, then hit theaters in 2013. Critics were split, but everyone agreed. Shannon was terrifyingly good. Reality check. The film got a lot right. The brutal childhood? True. The abusive father and the death of his brother? Also true. His ties to Roy DeMeo and the Gambinos? Accurate. It nailed the dark, gritty side of mob life. No glamour, no respect, just fear and death. But it also took liberties. Some killings in the film were exaggerated or completely fictional. And while it showed the violence, it didn't go deep enough into the mind of Kuklinski, the calm logic behind his chaos. It also skipped over one of the craziest parts, the 18-month undercover operation that finally caught him. That real story was way more tense than what the movie showed. And about those wild claims, like killing hundreds of people or taking part in famous mob hits? Most experts believe that was all talk. But Hollywood loves legends, and Kuklinski was a legend of fear. So, what do you think? Was Richard Kuklinski born a monster? Or did the world turn him into one? Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you want more chilling true crime stories like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.